Yeah, it is different, just kind of the sense of urgency like I've talked about before, knowing it's my senior year and kind of this is the last ride. So trying to leave no stones unturned and trying to be as prepared as possible, and I do feel a lot better than I did at this point last year. I feel like offensively we're clicking a lot better, kind of more trust, between me and the receivers, where we're going to be, where I'm going to put the ball, things like that. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there and, putting it on the field. Southern Illinois looks athletic. They've got some good players. Not quite as big as Big Ten teams, but we definitely aren't overlooking them. Just like Indiana State last year played us pretty well defensively. And, we're definitely still preparing kind of early in the week, going through, their different coverages and blitzes and things like that. But impressed with them early on. Yeah, I absolutely have a much higher comfort level with these guys. Last year, I thought we were, talented and things like that, but I think we were a little bit complacent, knowing that the year before we were very good offensively, quarterbacks, receivers, kind of on the same page, and kind of just believed that it would just happen again just because, we were Indiana offense. So there's definitely been, more of a attention to detail, focus on the little things with these guys. I mean, guys like Mitchell Page and Ricky Jones have, we'll text each other after a scrimmage when we're watching film on our own, be like, hey, what'd you think on this play? Should I have taken it high or come out of it or things like that? So we've definitely been on the same page, and we all understand that if we want to be good, we have to, really focus on those little things.
How excited are you personally after missing half the season last year to just be back in the game?
I'm stoked. I can't wait to actually get out there and, put the pads on and be live. It's been kind of a long time coming, and you can simulate it as much as you want in spring ball or in fall camp, but until you're actually live, you kind of have that itch to go out there and be a part of the game and the full flow of the game. So I'm real excited about it.
Is there an itch to get hit too as well?
There really kind of is, yeah. You kind of want to get that first hit, just to, get those little jitters out of you, those little nerves. But, I'm feeling great right now, just excited and feel my body is stronger than ever. So, I'm very excited to get that first hit.
You have not been hit in practice, correct?
Not by a teammate, really. But Craig, our athletic trainer, has used a bag to kind of punish me a little bit, so it's been good.
How much have you, and we talked to you about this a little bit this summer too before Big Ten Media Days, but how much of a challenge has it been for you to essentially balance some of, the ceremonial roles of being a senior quarterback, a guy that's asked to speak in an event like that, that's expected to lead as much as you are with this team, with just getting prepared mentally and physically for week one, for week two, whatever? Just how hard is it to kind of balance, a lot of different things at once?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, and I don't think last year I was prepared for that. I think, just kind of building up to this point in my career, I've kind of, learned how to prepare for games and learned how to become a leader and become more natural at leading. And Coach Wilson said it to me a lot that, he sees that it's become more natural for me. I'm not, laboring as much to, focus on, hey, building guys up or telling them what I want on a route, but at the same time worrying about my game, my footwork, my fundamentals, and things like that. So I think I've, been kind of groomed and prepared for this season and for this, opportunity at hand, and I'm excited to get out there and show it. I thought they were great last year, but I think just the maturity, the size, I think we're bigger, quite a bit bigger than we were last year. And, just guys like Feeney and Spriggs kind of setting the tone every day on the O-line. We're really 8 or 9 deep of guys who we feel great about. You won't blink an eye, and we won't, lose a step with. So I just think, Coach Fry's done a great job just building those guys. And when you've got guys who've been developing in the strength program for 4 years, every year they just get so much stronger. And, again, the leadership, just setting the tone every day. I think those guys are, really the strength of our team.
You reach a point about the tight ends in this team because Coach Wilson said that might be the strongest group of receivers that we have. How good are these guys in that role?
Yeah, they're unbelievable, and they're very selfless. They're kind of clique of our team. Them and the linebackers, I'd say, where they do everything together. So it's really fun to see. And, you got guys like Michael Cooper and Danny Friend who are unbelievable blockers on the edge, but they're also, really good pass catchers. So they're, able to threaten you both ways. And then Cassaro and Fuchs really could play receiver, but they can also block well too. So we've got really 4 guys we feel great about. We can do a lot of different formations, a lot of different combinations with those guys. And, those, like coaches said, have really allowed us to, set the edge and, have a presence in the passing game. So we're looking forward to how those guys step up.
And what did you see from Sidney Cobb's spring ball and fall camp? Obviously, played last year, kind of struggled with consistency, but looks like he could be a big target for you that makes some plays.
Yeah, I'm thrilled with Simi. He's done a great job just staying focused, staying hungry, and working at his craft. Last year, being a young guy, it's a tough deal, and there's inconsistencies along the way. But he's really taken, pride in the fact that, there's a great opportunity for him, and he's really, especially the last 2 weeks, really come on extremely strong, running very well, catching it really well, making competitive plays. So I think he's going to have a big year, and the sense of urgency he's shown in the last few weeks has been impressive.
You got to turn around and hand it off to Tevin Coleman the last couple of years. What are people going to see from the backs that you're having?
Yeah, obviously Tevin was a phenomenal player, but I'm really excited about what we have now. Jordan Howard you guys will see, he's very impressive. The guy is, a huge body, but great vision, great intelligence of the game. I'll make a pass and he'll be like, "Hey, great read, Nate, great read, Nate," as I'm running down the field. I'm like, "Come on, man, what are you doing?" But the guy actually knows what he's talking about, and one of the best kids on our team. And then Divine Redding's also great too, and that 1-2 punch is really, going to do a lot for us this year, and kind of that committee of backs. We're excited to, just see how they, complement each other. But I mean, obviously losing Tevin, he was unbelievable, but I'm very confident in what we have coming back.
What was a day like in terms of you working with receivers, like in the summertime? Like, how many hours a day did you spend, whether it's looking at film or texting or throwing passes to each other?
Yeah, so like a Tuesday, we'd have our lift groups and classes kind of in the morning, and then we would have our 7-on-7 player practice. So we'd go out there, warm up, and usually before or after practice, we'd, especially early on in the summer, I'd make some cut-ups, just like on this route, this is where I want you to go high, this is where I want you to sit in the hole, this is where I want you to convert this route, and things like that. And then, but Saturdays and Sundays, usually one or the other, we would come in for about an hour and a half and kind of get some good routes. Having 2 older brothers one was a receiver, one's a tight end, I was also kind of cognizant of the fact that you can't overrun your guys, and you got to, treat them well too. So, without over pushing them, when I felt like their legs were a little bit dead, I'd kind of work more in the film room and draw on the board and things like that. But they were always hungry to do it. I never had to labor or beg them to come out and catch. They were all about it. We just made a group text, and I was like, "Hey, throwing tomorrow at 10 a.m." And they'd be like, "All right, be there. We'll be there." So it was a lot of fun to work with those guys.
Would you have been comfortable doing that during the offseason after your freshman year and after your sophomore year?
Not nearly as comfortable now. As a younger guy, you're just trying to earn the respect of those guys above you or older than you, and I knew we had great receivers, so I probably should have been a little bit more, outspoken at a younger age, but I knew how good those guys were, and I was still just trying to focus on being on the field myself. So, but yeah, definitely kind of being older and kind of, performing decently on the field over my career, I've kind of gained that respect among my teammates.
You admitted that last season sometimes you were just trying not to make a mistake a little bit. You're a little timid. How has that changed for you?
Yeah, again, like I said, Coach diagnosed me perfectly, just trying to be Mr. Perfect last year, trying to never make a mistake. But when you do that, you're tentative. You're not throwing with anticipation, which is one of the biggest things as a quarterback. You can't wait till a guy's open. You got to throw him open. You got to throw in windows. And so, I just decided, when I got hurt and just kind of developed and watched a lot of film and worked with my receivers so much to where I knew exactly where they would be and be on the same page with them. So before they make that plant, get out of the break, I'm putting it right at one spot, and I tell them, hey, if you get to this spot, I'm never gonna miss, and things like that. So I mean, it's kind of been just it doesn't happen overnight. Just kind of developing a trust and just a chemistry with those guys.
Questions on Indiana's defense are always the most intense. You got up against this defense in the fall now. Do you see improvement? What do you see out of that defense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really mean it when I say, I mean, especially this D-line right now has been really giving us fits this fall camp. I mean, you look across the board, our D-line is very impressive athletically, physically. In my lap way too much, kind of making me upset at practice, just because quarterbacks like to have a nice clean pocket. But and then our linebackers as well have been very, very good this camp. Kind of, again, like I said, just that camaraderie they have. They've got a dog mentality, just going out there to dominate every game. And then, our secondary is very young. But, guys like Chase Dutra really kind of setting the leadership tone. And just some of those young guys out there in DB are really kind of, too young to know any better. They just go out and play hard, which is very cool to see. And so I'm really expecting them to really take a huge step from where they were last year. And by the end of the year, I really thought they were coming on very strong. So, I really think that by no means are they going to be holding us back this year. I think they're kind of one of the strengths right now.
Touchdown! Wow, what a play!